Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Business and Financial Raw Talk and No Holds Barred Forum for leaders and innovators. I am so excited to be here with you again for another dynamic session. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, what Business and Financial Raw Talk is all about is expert to expert, just having casual conversations about what we see in the world, what we see in life, and how we can share our knowledge and our experiences to challenge you to improve your business and your finances in life so that you can rise up and be the impact, the change agent, the influencer that you want to be in the world. And I am so excited that we have none other than Millen Livis here. How's it going, Millen?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to chat with you today. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Lavana. I appreciate talking to you, talking to your audience.
Thank you. I've got a little surprise for you. One second. Today we are going to be talking about, so you want to be a millionaire. But before we get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about this amazing woman. Millen Livis is a serial entrepreneur. She's an investor. She's an educator. She is a financial coach. She is a woman on a mission to help professionals and entrepreneur women to understand how to best use the energy of money in order to achieve their dreams and have the influence that they want for their families, for their lives, for their future. Millen is also known to be both a traditionalist as well as applying holistic methods for finances. And so I'm really excited that we're going to dig into that. And she has a secret sauce known as the Millionaire method. So we'll be getting into that a little bit. So you ready to dig in, Millen?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yay. Well, I noticed that so many people are out there going after the six-figure goal standard. And when you look at statistics, and we're just going to focus here on the US, that the average combined household is only making $68,000 a year. And when we look at the average woman, she's making $48,000. But when you're talking to everyone around you, everyone is saying they're making six figures. So there's a lot of imposter syndrome going on. And I want to get your take on that because you and I, we've shared our experiences. We know what it's like to be riding high and to fall flat, right? To lose everything and have to rebuild. Yeah. So I'm going to toss the ball to you and I want you to just dig into, what that means to you and what can women do to be first true to themselves in order to begin to make change and advance financially.
So a couple of things. I love that you share the statistics because they're not very optimistic, so to speak, or exciting to hear, but they're very true. And I really think that financial success is determined by not by what you have right now or where you're right now, not by what you think you can or cannot do, not by even your past experiences. Maybe you lost money, maybe you made bad decisions. I honestly, sincerely feel that your financial success is determined by your character, by your set of values, by your life philosophy, by the way you see the world, by your beliefs, your habits, your attitude. I really believe so. And that's why, because I was at the bottom of the barrel, so to speak, right? And you know my story. And I was able to turn this around. I'm not the same person now that I was there. So for those of you who maybe don't have opportunity right now for advancing your salary. Maybe you feel that you're not good enough to be wealthy. Maybe you feel that, I'm just not the numbers person. I was not born to be wealthy. All of this stuff is part of what you will need to rewire, reprogram, recondition, right? Because with this attitude, with these beliefs, it's very, very hard to become financially independent or millionaire for that matter, right? So it all starts here because we have a very powerful um, computer system here, right? We navigate by what we want to create because we are very powerful creators, and we also our success is determined not only by our beliefs, but by our beliefs only, but the whole package of who you are, how you see the world, what you're willing or not willing to settle for, right? So all of this stuff, that's why I say character is very, very important. And look, if you're not happy with your salary, don't just complain about this or whine about this. Just do some um, brainstorming, use Google, right, and say, okay, what can I do to create additional source of income, right? What resources how can you be resourceful? What can you use your natural ability, your maybe previous experience, your skill set, your interests? What can you do to add value to other people? Because that's how you create wealth. You don't just create wealth out of thin air, and the skill sets too. So that's what I would say, that just pay attention to your entire package, your character. I call it the entire package: your attitude, your beliefs, your set of values, your uh, habits, etc. That's
I,
what I
I
believe.
love I love what you just said, because the other thing that I didn't share with the audience is Millen has been financially independent for over 10 years, and she lives in two countries. She lives in the south of France as well as in Florida. And so being financially independent, or having the resources that you need, you mentioned it gives us choices, right? And how important is it to know that now you can, as you mentioned, co create and select from the plethora of choices that are before you, rather than being dictated because you're boxed into this limited mindset, beliefs, attitudes. Like you said, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough. But you said something that I really love, and I think that's what attracted me so much to you. There are a lot of money mindset coaches out there. It seems like they're just popping out of the woodwork lately. And then I've noticed that when I do my research on many of them, like we talked about the six figures, they're not there, but yet they're talking about this wealth, and they're getting people. Um, I guess they're being like the Pied Piper, right? So they're people are believing, but they have not shown improved in their own lives. But you have, I mean, from your education, the Wharton Business School, you've been on Wall Street, you're an investor. But what you said is you talked about the practical piece. So I can get my mindset in the game, right? But if I'm not asking the questions, if I'm not using my skill sets, if I'm not plugging into the right resources, having that tactician piece added, then I think it's kind of, I call it hope methodology. You hope what you're going to do is going to work, rather than you know it's going to work because you're using proven success principles.
Yeah, I am all about strategy. And I feel that it's great to have affirmations. It's great to have mantra. It's great to meditate. I use all of this, right? But I also feel that we live in a physical world. We need to have skill sets. We need to take action on our intentions, right? You have to be clear about your intentions. So we are we have to have holistic approach. We cannot just be tactical, and tactics could be just meditate and use affirmations, or it could be just invest in the stock market. Right now stock market is a good opportunity to enter, or invest in a cryptocurrency. Right now it's a great time to enter. My point is that it's very important to have a empowered mindset. Empowered meaning that you normalize your vision. It's not something that only possible for someone else. It's possible for you as well. You think before I could ever imagine that I will live in the south of France and in the US? At first, it seemed impossible. And then I said, why not to try? My attitude is always, what do I have to lose? Usually I have some fear when I'm making some major decisions, but you know what, fear never stops me. So the approach that I take is you have to have an overall strategy. You set the intention, what do I want to create, right? You have to start with the end in mind, because otherwise we create left and right and we don't really move toward particular vision that we want to create. But then it needs to be, so you also need to condition yourself for success, because we're not naturally conditioned for success. Because at home and at school, at home we see that most of our parents, at least in my family, struggled with money. It was a cause of arguments, cause of fear, etc. And at school, the same. We're not taught at school how to deal with money, how to be financially empowered, right? So we need to find a way, and working with mentors, doing meditation, doing particular mindfulness practices is very important. But it also important to take some practical steps. And for me, for example, one of the very important practical steps that helped me to be very focused on what I want to accomplish was I have to know how to become financially independent. So what does it mean for me? What does it mean for me? And here we can approach this from the general, like what kind of lifestyle I want to have, etc. But there is also a very practical approach here, because you can calculate your financial freedom number, meaning how much money I have to receive every month from multiple sources of income that will cover my expenses without me, for example, working. So it should be like passive income. So, and you can calculate this number, and then you will know that that's my aim. That's what I'm focused on. And then from there, you can brainstorm how you can accomplish this number, by what kind of sources of income. And you know what? When I started, I did it. What I'm sharing with you, it's exactly what I've done, right? So I calculated my financial freedom number, and I said, okay, so now I know once I hit this number, I don't have to work. I don't have to basically do things that other people tell me to do, right? So I was very motivated. But then I had to brainstorm, how do I fulfill that? And for that, I needed to be very honest and say, I want to have real estate as a source, one of the sources of my income. But I had no clue how to invest in real estate. So you have to develop particular skill set, so you will be able to develop this source of income. Maybe for someone it would be receiving royalty from the books, so you have to become a good writer. For someone else it could be internet marketing company, so you have to find the one that really will motivate you. But the key here is that it should be multiple sources of income, right? Because some people just say just my business, and they put everything, all the focus on your business. Yes, one at a time. You cannot maybe multitask and build multiple businesses, or do different things. Some people can. A lot of women are very good multitaskers, right? But in general, just keep in mind that you've got to have multiple sources of income and develop skill sets, so you will be able to realistically have that. Like, for example, know how to invest in the stock market, not just kind of close your eyes and buy some indexes without knowing why you're buying this, right? Just because someone told you, but really have a pretty good handle on what is happening. Even if you work with financial advisor, for example, you have to know what they suggest you, it makes sense to you, right? So you've got to learn how to be discerning, and the only way to be discerning is to educate yourself. That's what I believe in.
And when what you said is so powerful, education, and we know that there is a financial crisis facing women, not just here in the U.S. but around the world, and it's largely due to a lack of literacy, just not knowing, and as you said, just grabbing and investing and hoping, it does well, but not really having a strategy. And I think the one statistic that really gave me pause, Millen, was knowing that here in the US, when a woman reaches 65 and retires, and I'm saying quote unquote retires, she is retiring on um, an annual financial source of only $17,000. $17,000. That's frightening. And some people may say, Luana, I don't believe it. It's not true. Check the check the census ratings, checks the Department of Labor. But what that 17,000 is your Social Security income. Because we know, like you mentioned, there's multiple streams, but then there's multiple legs as it relates to building for your future, your future self, right? That investment portfolio. If you happen to be in a career that you had retirement, you have that. Then you have your Social Security. Most often, people don't have that three-legged stool. And then on the investment side, it's a little wobbly. And so I agree with you 100%. Having the multiple streams of income, not throwing all your eggs in one basket. And I'd like for you to talk about how can we as women better prepare to have the sustainability today so that we know that we can rest well when we're in our golden years.
I think it always starts with taking responsibility for your success, for your family. A lot of women delegate financial matters to their partners. Some feel like, well, my parents are doing well, so I will get inheritance. And I'm saying that this is, first of all, man is not a plan. Social Security may or may not be around when you will be retiring. Nobody knows, right? And frankly, waiting for your parents to pass, it's probably the worst retirement planning you can have, the worst. So what I'm saying is that it all starts with awakening to you can control your finances. You can. And it starts with very basic, knowing your cash flow. You have to know what is coming in and what is coming out. And there are four levers that you can use to maximize your cash flow. And one of the levers, which is very important lever, is income. You have to be honest with yourself. If your current income is not sufficient right now, right? So you have to find a way to have either additional income or get additional skill sets so you will be able to find a better job. You don't have to be married to your job if it doesn't pay well. As long as you have the skill sets that are marketable right now, you can have a new job, or you can have a maybe some part-time work. A lot of people, especially women, they kind of like hope for the best and they not prepare for the worst. And I don't like to talk about the worst, but I'm saying that being realistic with where you are is very, very important. So that's one thing. Another thing is you have to really be very clear about your spending pattern, right? Your debt, because well, sometimes it's you who is a overspender and you have more expenses than money. Sometimes it's your partner. So I think that many women must take leadership in their family and lead financial well-being of their family, not expect that maybe my husband, it's man's responsibility to do that, or whatever, your partner responsibility to do that. I disagree with this. I think if it's very important for you to see your family doing well in many ways, like financially including, it's a very important aspect of well-being, then don't expect someone else to do that. Take charge, take responsibility, learn how to do it, and start acting on your goal, your intention, right? It has to be strong enough motivation for you to make changes that are needed to be made. It's yeah, so motivation is very important. And to be motivated, you have to be very clear why you need to do that, why you want to accomplish certain things, right? Because your why is what will help you to go through challenging times and through maybe setbacks. You have to be motivated to accomplish. I personally was thinking that I never want to worry about money when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and 80s. Okay, I want to be able to make my own choices. I want to have flexibility of time. I want to be in a position when I choose to work, not feel that I have to work. That was strong motivation for me. And also, I never wanted to be with a man just because I cannot support myself. Never ever. For me, freedom was my North Star. So find what motivates you. Maybe you want to retire your family, maybe you want to travel. Whatever it is for you, find something that will motivate you to take charge of your financial life, so you will be in control of your money, not money will control you and your life.
I love that. I'm going to put this up here. You you mentioned to understand your cash flow, and that's so important because very often we can easily victimize ourselves by spending and living paycheck to paycheck, but we're not controlling it, we're not regulating it. I'm surprised, Millen, you and I've talked about, because I'm on the mortgage side of the house. When I ask a simple question, do you know what your current interest rate is, or even the term that you have, or do you know your mortgage payment? Well, I think it's around 1,500, but they're not certain. So that's real important. And then you said taking responsibility of your finances, not delegating it to someone else, showing up for yourself. I think loving yourself enough that those things that can impact and influence your life, you're saying, let's own this. Let's take responsibility. And then you said, know your why. Because it's not about just saying, I want to earn six figures or I want to earn seven figures.
What's beyond this?
Yeah, what's, like you said, what's motivating you? What's driving you? Because when the ebbs and flows happen, that why is going to anchor you. It's going to sustain you. And in your case, my case, losing it all, that why enabled us to build back up, but also having the knowledge and the skill sets, I know for me, helped me to rebuild.
Absolutely. I can't imagine that I would be where I am right now without really investing in me. Remember, you are your most important valuable asset, right? So everything that I invested in myself, which is a lot of money, we're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. It was not wasted because I lived a life that I only could imagine before. But you know what, really very powerful creators. And even if something that you have like vision, you have some goal and it seems like absolutely impossible for you, just know that if you really want to live this life, you can live that. You just need to reverse engineer and then just create a plan with milestones. Like, for example, in my case, it was I said, if I get 8,000 a month passive, I am financially independent. For me, goal was financial independence, not so much like being wealthy. I really wanted to be financially independent so I will have my freedom. So, and then I said, okay, but how can I do that? And I realized that, yeah, I wanted to have real estate as a source of income. I had no idea how to do that. Then later it was, I wanted to have better results from my stock market investing. I started studying with stock market mentors. Then I decided that cryptocurrency seems to be like a good addition to my investment portfolio. I had to learn that. I learned how to create asset allocation because that's a very powerful foundation for your success as an investor. So, or maybe you want to be a good I don't know, songwriter or author, right? So whatever skill sets you want to develop, just be very clear about this and don't be afraid. Like, it has to be really, you've got to be driven to do what you do, because integrity and authenticity also very important aspects of success, right? So if you act in integrity, because you cannot fake integrity, I can tell you that, and you also cannot fake authenticity, and people feel that. So if you are authentically excited about your work, it would be emitted, right, when you talk to people. So just keep in mind that you have to be authentic about what you want to do in your life and why. Know your why, and also act in integrity. So you will always be respected, because it's like, for example, for me, it's not, I don't look, when I work with clients, I always say, I don't care if you like me or not. What is important for me, that you make progress, that I am authentic with you. When I need to tell you something that needs to be done, I will not hold it back, you know? So I think it's important. I just spoke today with someone that we discussed this, and she just finished her business, very successful business. I said, why? Because she said, I'm not the same person. I'm not already, I cannot do it authentically, and being true to myself, staying in this business, because I changed and I feel that I need to move on to something, doing something else in my life. It's beautiful. I really think that we all have to be very honest with ourselves, where we are right now in life, whether it's your finances, whether it's your career, whether it's your relationship. Being honest with yourself, know yourself, right, and then act on this knowledge is the absolutely foundation for any success as well.
Yeah, that was beautifully stated. As you said, as Shakespeare said, to thyself be true. And that is so critical. And that's where getting rid of the imposter syndrome, removing the mask, looking at the woman in the mirror, and having that honest conversation. Where you are doesn't mean that is your destination, it's just where you are, right?
Everything is a journey, everything is a journey. Our life is a journey. And this journey will test you. This journey will make you discover your judgments, your shadows, so to speak, right? Your value conflicts. So just see this as a journey, not something like, oh, I have to have this amount of money by this amount of, and if not, then I'm a failure. So I always say, don't work with expectations, work with intentions, because expectations assume that you have attachment to the outcome. And that's what blocks a lot of people. So I always say, change expectations with intentions, because intentions is just, that's what you're planning to do by that time, but you're not attached to the outcome. And this attachment is what blocks a lot of people.
Yeah, that was powerful. Can you believe we are almost out of time, Millen? And I know that you want to take some time to share some tips and resources with our listening audience. So I'm going to take myself down and allow you the stage. Is that okay?
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. So we talked a lot about the importance of mindset, developing what I call wealth mindset or investor mindset, right? Versus what many Americans have is consumer mindset. And it's also very important to be in control of your money, because you know what? If you don't control your money, money will control you. That I can guarantee you. So that's why I created this powerful program. It's called Awaken Money Mastery, where we address both. We address mindset. We talked about your relationship with money. We write your money biography. We talked about your wealth thermostat. We talk about changing your wealth or money blueprint. So it's a very powerful training in terms of rewiring your maybe unsupportive conditioning around money and wealth. Okay. And the second aspect of this training is all about some very, very practical money management skills. You will know how to calculate your cash flow. I'm giving you a cash tracker. You will know how to maximize your cash flow. Today, I mentioned just one lever, which is income, but there are other levers that you can use to maximize your income. And not only that, some of the exciting aspects of this program is you will calculate your financial freedom number. I give the particular calculation formula and tracker, not tracker, the Excel spreadsheet where everything is programmed for you, and you will calculate your financial freedom number. And then we will idea storm together how you can fulfill this financial freedom number by having multiple sources of income. I call it financial freedom income. And what skills you will need to develop for particular sources that you want to have. So that's what this program is about. It includes the digital aspects. So you will have like every week you will have a video, audio, and transcript of the new lesson. And also every week you will have me with you kicking your butt. So you will not procrastinate anymore. You will know that you have to be accountable. I will offer a container of support, guidance, accountability, and you will make progress and you will measure progress. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk. It's a 6 months program. I'm very excited about this, and I will give the link maybe later to Lavana, because I don't think I gave you this link. But yeah, so the name of the program, Awaken Money Mastery, and there is a page where you can I will provide this to Lavana, where you can read more about this program. And I also today I want to offer you very cool gift, which I call Beginner Investor Toolkit. You can download this on the giftfrommillen.com. You can see it on the screen, giftfrommillen.com. That's where you could download this gift. And it's a toolkit that gives you 8 specific aspects of how you can start investing strategically. So you don't trade, you don't just buy on some hot tips from the neighbor or from the colleague or from the family member. You know exactly how you can structure your investment strategy, so you will be like myself, you will invest strategically, not impulsively. Okay, so that's what I wanted to offer. And of course, you can find a lot of resources on daretochange.life.com. That's my website where I talk about my values. You can find the blog. You can read my story, my crazy zigging and zagging story, how I went from being first generation immigrant who didn't even speak English and worked as a florist assistant for $4.50 per hour, and how I became self-made millionaire and live in 2 beautiful locations in the south of France and South Florida. So it's possible. And if I could do it, after being depressed and after going through really challenging, crazy time, and I was able to turn this around, I promise you that you can do it too. Okay. So today, I really wanted to inspire you, to motivate you, and to remind you that you're a very powerful creator, and you have to know what you want and then just create a plan how to get there. And if you need support, I would love to talk to you. You can also go to speakwithmillen.com, and I offer a complimentary consultation. Speakwithmillen.com. That's another gift that I want to offer you today. It's the value is over $500. If that's what you want, if you want some personalized support from me, you have opportunity to have it no risk, and you can book this appointment at speakwithmillen.com. So you showered with gifts today, and I hope you will take advantage of this. Thank you, Lavana.
Thank you so much, Millen. This has been great. Thank you for being part of this platform, Business and Financial Raw Talk. I hope that everyone listening took away some golden nuggets. And please connect with Millen. Take her up on the consult, as well as the free gift from Millen.com. How great is that? And explore this 6-month program. If you're really serious about changing your finances, changing your life, success leaves clues. And as she said, she was making a little over $4 an hour to now she's a self-made millionaire, having the life of her dreams and the choices to live life intentionally and on purpose. So thank you again so much, Millen. I know you have another engagement, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Be blessed, and prayers are with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Was that amazing? I so enjoyed listening to individuals who are experts in the business and the financial realm, and just coming together and bringing really rich conversations to you, because the goal is to challenge some of the norms, the standards, even the limiting mindsets that can block us. And we know that in order to move forward, it requires more than just dreaming. It requires more than just hoping. It's practical application. And as Millen said, setting that intention, being very clear on your why. It's not just chasing the dollar, but what will having those increases do for you? What type of quality of life will you have? For me, I am so blessed that, like, Millen is living in 2 countries. I'm living in 2 states right now. I'm in Arizona, but I'm based in Atlanta, and having the flexibility to be here with my aging parents. Dad is 91, mom will be 86 next month. And I have the peace of mind. It gives me the choice to come and spend sometimes 6, sometimes 7 months out of the year here, just enjoying and celebrating the time, and then going back and taking care of my home and my life in Atlanta. So again, choice is so critical. And let's take it even down to a more granular level when we think about choices. When you have that financial independence that you're seeking, it gives you the opportunity to choose where you live, the schools your children go to, the quality of health care that you're able to provide for yourself. That's huge. The quality of health care. We are in a pandemic, and we're seeing every single day GoFundMe accounts. And I had a situation last month where my goddaughter and her 2 children were in a tragic car accident. They survived, but it was a life-changing accident. Now they'll be dealing with life with paralysis. So situations, life happens, but we can prepare ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I truly believe there's an intersect with all of that. And I believe that God has designed each of us for greatness in our own lanes in order to make an impact today, to be that ripple, as Sammy Blundell says, around the world, to give hope and encouragement for those so that they too can find their ladder of financial independence. I believe those of us in the financial realm have a fiduciary responsibility to share our knowledge, to share our tips and tools for success in order to help those that are coming behind us along. And for those of us that happen to be blessed to live in wealthier nations, we have an even greater responsibility to be a resource of support, infusion of funds to create sustainable communities, financial security for other nations. This is really a conversation about humanity and making the world a better place. And it really does take money to do that. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you so much for joining me for another edition of Business and Financial Raw Talk. We will be with you next week at 6 p.m. We look forward to seeing you. And I ask that you be safe. And remember that when your dreams intersect with opportunity, success is inevitable. Until next time, good night.